this. Just the Zara clearance rack right here, dude. This is... Very happy you could make it after that sale. Okay, this is good. Backwards hat. I just know if you finger me, you give me a UTI. I just fucking know it. You ever just see someone like that? You got dirty fingernails. Okay. This is crazy. Wow. Who's gonna match my energy? None of you, dude. Nobody's in there. Oh, this is so sick. I'm queer. Do any fellow queer people here? We got a couple? Okay, hell yeah. Statistically, there's more. Okay, I can't wait for your journey of self-discovery, Kyle. It took me a while to figure out that I was bisexual. Maybe I'm pansexual. We don't have time to unpack that, all right? But it took me a while to figure out that I was into women, right? Because every time I hooked up with one, I did it when I was drunk. Next day, couldn't remember if I liked it or right. Did that for a year. Figured out I was an alcoholic before I was gay, all right? Then I started going on sober dates, and I got even more confused. I was like, am I into women? Or empathy. Oh my God, dude. Do I like boobs or just feeling understood, you know? And then she's laughing, but he's not. Okay, I was at a show recently and this woman yelled out, if it's above the belt, it's not gay. I was like, that bitch is gay. Why is your belt around your ankles? What are we doing right now? Let's figure this out together, you know? One of the first women I ever slept with, we met at a bar, went back to my place. Her name was Keisha. She drove. Right as we're about to go inside my house, she's like, wait, I gotta let you know I'm a cop. I was like, what? And then I was like, oh, and I'm a robber. You can cuff me to the bed, you know? Take me down to your little station, right? She's like, oh no, I'm like an officer of the law. I was like, that's not as hot. But in retrospect, I should have known she was a cop. She made me sit in the back seat. And we did make love that night, but the next day I had to ghost her because I'm on the right side of history, damn it, right? I was like, Black Lives Matter, right? She's like, but I'm a black woman. I was like, and you're a cop. Way to be an ally, you know? But also, isn't that kind of the best cop to fuck, right? Like a black gay woman? Isn't that kind of the least problematic cop to fuck, right? That's like fucking a Native American real estate agent. Some of you guys are pulling back on me. That's flawless fucking logic, okay? That's flawless fucking logic. Listen, all I'm saying is a cop in the sheets is one less shooting in the street. So what did you do today, sir? What the fuck did you do today, ma'am? Oh, you posted a black square, I fucked a black box, okay? Don't tell me I'm not in the trenches doing my part, you know? I posted that joke online and someone commented, I'm a gay cop, I just want to help people. Everybody responded, ACAB, 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 ACAB. And someone just being like, gay cops kill people too. Which, yeah, but imagining that's fucking crazy. You know what I mean? Just fucking bop, 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 slay. You know what I mean? It's not gonna happen, you know? Keisha, she's a good woman, fat ass. Okay, anyways, and this is the thing, is I'm into dudes too, but they never fucking believe me. I'm like, no, really, I'm into you. They're like, nah. And I'm like, no, I want to suck your dick. They're like, bro, you're crazy for that. I'm like, no, really, I want to. They're like, really, you're scaring away the women. Stop. I'm like, it's crazy, dude. And also, I feel like dating a woman, I can't use the same excuses that I've used with ex-boyfriends, you know, like the same lies. Like, I was dating this girl once, and she was like, hey, let's go to Zumba. I was like, I would, but Sephora's having a huge deal. She's like, I'm on the mailing list. No, they're not. I fucking panicked. I was like, Gilmore Girls is on. She's like, it hasn't aired in 15 years. I was like, I'm on my period. And she's like, no, we're not. I was like, you're getting good, you know? And also, women way better at dirty talk, I have to say. Tell me why I was on top of this guy and I said, call me a good girl. And he was like, yeah, you're a great girl. I was like, I may not be fucking a woman, but I am fucking a bitch. You know what I mean? That's what the fuck it felt like, you know? And this thing's, I'm an immigrant too. Do any fellow immigrants here? We got a couple? Okay, hell yeah. Otherwise, I'd have been like, build a wall. Okay. I feel safe. I'm Sri Lankan. Do we have any Sri Lankans here? Just kidding, I'm Puerto Rican. Okay, starting to feel like it's not a real place, okay? I didn't grow up around a lot of Sri Lankans, right? And I recently moved to New York. I went into a Sri Lankan restaurant. The nicest Sri Lankan waitress, she was like, you just moved here, right? If you ever need anything, call the restaurant. That's so sweet. When am I gonna need that? I get hit by a car, like you need to call an ambulance. I'm like, no, call that good curry spot. If I said that, they'd be like, wow, she hit her head way fucking harder than we thought. We're calling an ambulance and a cop to get her statement, you know? I'd be like, just make sure it's not Keisha. That bitch hates my fucking guts, dude. I'm just imagining Keisha rolling up to the scene. She's like, I heard there was a hit and run. Oh. Well, it looks like justice has been served, okay? Bop, 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 slay, you know what I mean? That's what I think about, you know? And I'm an immigrant, but I was an immigrant here when I was 6 months old, so I'm just like a really brave baby. And I was at a show recently, and someone told me they worked as a paralegal. I was like, what does a paralegal do? They were like, I help people with paperwork. I was by that definition, all immigrant kids are paralegals. You're telling me I'm running an H&R Block out of my living room for free? My mom's like, what's a dependent? I'm like, you, bitch. Maybe I get some of the tax return this year, right? Because I'm going to sleep stressed out as a 9-year-old. I'm like, did I claim the right amount of deductions? I'm showing up to 3rd grade tired. They're like, did you do the homework? I was like, no, I was trying to find old receipts, you know? And my parents, they always raised me and my brother in extremes out of a fear of failure. Because they give up a lot coming to America, right? They'd always be like, if you don't do blank, you're going to be homeless. That's a lot for a 6-year-old. You don't go to a good college, you're gonna be homeless. You get pregnant, you're gonna be homeless. You smoke weed, you're gonna get pregnant, you're gonna be homeless, okay? And yeah, I do smoke weed, and I am looking for a home, okay? I'm so sorry. We are looking for a home, dude. And also, I perform for a lot of audiences, and one thing I noticed about white audience members, they tend to laugh more at my queer material more than my race material. And I think it's because all white people feel a proximity to queerness, because all leftist white people are like, I'm probably a little gay. It's a spectrum, you know? But if I tell them they're a little racist, they're like, whoa, 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 I'm gay, how could I? I listen to Drake, he's a lesbian, how could I do anything like that, you know? I think a lot about houses, folks, because most Americans, statistically, a few paychecks away from being that motherfucker on the street. We're not that different, you know what I mean? Like, I used to live in this attic in this house in Berkeley, and it was great because the family downstairs never noticed. And I remember Christmas Eve, I went down to grab some cookies. The next day, the little boy, he's like, I met Santa. She's a brown woman, okay? I used to work as a barista. Somebody walked into my cafe. They did the most garbage thing. They walked into my cafe, and they stole some tips out of the tip jar. And my coworker, she was like, you know, if he's stealing tips, like he needs more than I do. So I've been stealing her tips, okay? Because clearly I needed more, you know? I remember I was cleaning out the coffee grinder one day, I stuck my finger and it chopped off the tip of my finger, which is the closest a lesbian can get to a circumcision. But that coffee grinder is still there to this day. People are always trying the coffee, they're like, man, this tastes different. I'm like, yeah, it's a South Asian blend. Immigrated in 98, dude. Why is it so expensive to just exist, dude? Like, I remember I saw this dude, he was screaming on the sidewalk, this houseless dude, he's screaming, and he was kind of crowd working people as they walk by, and I really saw myself in him. Like, there was a woman walking a dog, and he was like, look at that bitch walking a bitch. That's the funniest thing I've ever fucking heard, dude. I was so excited to walk by him, I was like, what is he gonna say about me? He was like, faggot. I was like, damn, that was good, that was so good. He's such a good writer, dude, holy shit. It's crazy, you know, and my parents, they worry about me being in New York, but we grew up very different, right? They grew up in Sri Lanka, I grew up in San Diego. I was around a lot of white people and Mexicans, so when they'd bully me, they'd call me a terrorist. And I'd be like, oh, no, you're thinking of the Middle East, I'm from South Asia. They're like, oh, so you fuck cows? I'm like, I'm a terrorist. Don't mean the virgins, I used to do it for the love of the game, you know? You panic, you're a kid, you don't know? And this is the thing is, my brother just got married this pandemic. Thing about her family is they're Muslim, my family's Buddhist. Buddhists aren't like Muslims don't like Buddhists. The kids, we don't give a fuck. That's how it goes, right? But I feel like my brother dating a Muslim is so I could date a big old lesbian. Like he walked so I could suck these titties, all right? Like my brother dating a Muslim man, whoo, I could fuck a cow, okay? Or a pig named Keisha, you know? That's the shit I think about, dude. I like we can talk about a lot of topics here. You can't always do that, right? I used to live in Oakland before this, and the area that I was living in, it was hyper liberal, where white people meet me there and they crumble like feta. They'll be like, you're a woman of color, how do I take up less space? Like their back goes bad, they get scoliosis, they go into fight or flight mode. I'm like, me and my girlfriend, like we're cool, like you don't gotta be weird about it. They're like, and you're a queer, how do I stop existing? How do I cease to exist? I'm so sorry, take my Phoebe Bridgers vinyl, I'm so sorry. It's like sometimes I'll hang out with the Klansmen, just want a white guy with a spine. That's a good joke. You guys are uncomfortable, okay? Obviously, I don't hang out with the KKK. Jesus fucking Christ. Just Proud Boys. We're closer in age. Okay, my name is Sureni. Thank you so much. Keep it up, girls.